Hello everyone, my name is Dancho Danchev. I'm an internationally recognized cybercrime researcher, OSINT analyst, threat intelligence analyst, and security blogger. I'm 37 years old, computer enthusiast and ex-hacker from Bulgaria during the famous hacker spree throughout the 90s, where I managed to directly establish a direct working relationship with various key members of the scene in the security industry, including to actually work as a technical creator for infamous Lockdown 2000 anti-Trojan software, including to work as Trojan database manager uh, for a market-leading Trojan defense suite anti-Trojan vendor at the time. Since December 2005, I'm running one of the security industry's leading security and cybercrime research publications, including threat layers gathering and also into research blog, which is called Dancho Danchev's blog, My Streams of Information Security Knowledge, with all 5.6 active page views and visitors throughout the period 2005-2020. I used to be a ZDNet blogger for a period of 4 years, including two highly productive years while working as security blogger for Webroot. I've been selected by SC Magazine 2011 Social Media Awards as a finalist with my old Twitter account. I presented at various international conferences, including RSA Europe and CyberCamp 2016. Uh, I've also participated in a top secret UK government program courtesy of the GCHQ called Lovely Horse, where I participated with my old Twitter account, and back in the day I was also running the infamous AstraVista.com, the underground, throughout the period 2002-2006 for a position of managing director, where I was responsible for managing the security directory and the security news section. I'm currently one of the world's leading and most often cited and referenced cybercrime researchers, security blogger, and intelligence analyst, with over a decade in fighting cybercrime and actively responding to current and emerging cybercrime and cyber attack threats. I've also recently launched a high-profile project on the infamous AstraVista.box SK, where I'm currently running a high-profile hacking and security project. For the purpose of this interview, I've decided to present my personal story throughout the 90s up to present day, where I will be directly emphasizing on some of my current and future projects and some of the things that I've been working on and some of the things that I plan to work on in the future. And I decided to prepare a set of questions for the purpose of actually answering them for the purpose of this interview. For instance, how did you get involved in computers? During the period of time, in particular in the 90s, possessing a personal computer back in my homeland Bulgaria could basically considered a privilege, including the ability to get connected to the internet, which I joined at a later stage, having spent a decent portion of several active years actively playing PC computer games. Long story short, my folks bought me a personal computer. Um, for educational and entertainment purposes at the time, which was basically an IBM clone known as a Private 16, which I was basically using to play games and learn new things. Throughout the next 20 years, I was a proud owner and actually possessed a variety of personal computers, which I was making sure to properly use and actually end up making a living and basically become a prominent figure in the hacking scene in the US security industry. Uh, how much time did you spend playing games throughout the 90s? This would be the second most logical questions. Most logical question. I was basically spending most of my time playing games and actually looking for ways to obtain new games and actually using email and browse around some of my favorite internet-based websites at the time. The next logical questions would be who got you connected online, since when are you practically online? It was in the 90s and it was a local person who was basically responsible and acting as system administrator for my ICP at the time. I've been practically online for over 20 years. I'm basically on 24/7 doing research and actually keeping in touch with friends and colleagues. What were you practically doing online at the time? What was your daily internet activity routine? Um, this is very interesting as among the first sites that I would visit on a daily basis back in the time was NBA.com, including to actually search for new X-Files photos, including possibly new wallpaper, including newly released X-File themed MIDI songs, which I would be then listening to and actually playing for personal use. I would then visit CyberArmy and Progenic.com for the purpose of keeping track of new hacking and security websites and actual hacking and security tools. The next logical questions would be how did you start getting involved in security? What prompted you to start your career? Among the first websites for hacking and security that I stumbled upon were personal were personal websites for people and folks based in the US, which I found using several of the most popular search engines at the time. At the time, I was getting provoked by the existence of hacking tools, in particular Trojan horses, which actually led me to pursue a career as a newsletter contributor for Trojan Defense Suite and technical character for Lockdown Corp. At a later stage, which were one of the leading anti-Trojan software solutions at the time. When I was not busy visiting cyberarmy.com top 50 hacking websites and progeny.com top 100 hacking websites, I was actually busy writing manuals and actually trying to become a member of an actual hacking group. I was also busy running a personal hacking website at the time, which basically included a variety of created ebooks and various other tools and programs, including my personal hacking and security manuals and actual hacking and security papers. At a later stage, while I was busy working for the infamous AstroVista.com while I was studying in the Netherlands for the position of a managing director, I was responsible for the security directory content, including the overall management of the portal, where I decided to launch my personal Danchev.blogspot personal blog, which later on became one of the world's most popular security publications, including the security industry's flagship security publication for cybercrime research and intelligence gathering, linked me to the publication of hundreds of high-quality and never published before security and cybercrime research type of articles, which basically largely contributed and helped me to pursue a variety of career opportunities within the security industry, in particular my involvement with WebRoot for a period of 2 years, where I actually managed to produce hundreds of high-profile research articles. I'm currently pretty active on Twitter. I'm also active on LinkedIn. I also have a Medium account, and I'm often invited various invite-only or public and commercial security events, including, for instance, InfoSec Europe, RSA Europe, and Cyber Camp 2016. The next logical questions would be, what were some of your primary hacking and security projects during the 90s? Basically, I used to run a public hacking and security website, which basically consists of various hacking and security tools, including created ebooks, which everyone who was interested could download. At some point, I was busy contributing to war industries, Black Coat Ravers, Blackton Research Facility, Forbidden.net Forbidden.net security slash Forbidden.net slash security.org, including several part-time career positions at Trojan Defense Suite, including Lockdown Corp, Lockdown 2000, where I was busy working as a technical character, including an actual author of the Trojan Analysis database. What are some of your current hacking and security projects? I'm currently running a high-profile project on the infamous AstroVista.box.sk, including a personal including an extremely personal e-shop for intelligence deliverables, which is basically a unit /123.org, including an extremely popular pro-Western hacking and security community, which you can basically find on the official website of AstroVista.box.sk. The next logical questions would be, do you used to hang around on IRC throughout the 90s? I was basically spending a decent portion on IRC, in particular Downnet, including several other local IRC networks where I wanted to chat and hang out with local friends and colleagues. It was a moment of time when I could only dream of having myself actually join FNet, in particular the mainstream password protected invite-only hacking and security channels. I was also running the several channels on a local IRC network, which was basically drugs, KGB, and Linux security on the local IRC network. What was your typical day in front of the PC throughout the 90s? I would spend a decent portion of my day strategizing and actually playing Sid Meier's Civilization for the purpose of enriching my knowledge, including possibly launching a new military strategy and actual war with another player, in particular attempting to reach out a nuclear arms race with another player. I would then log in online using a local dial-up internet service provider and check my email, including some of my favorite websites, and actually try and do my best to reply back to friends and colleagues from across the globe. The next logical question would be, have you ever compromised a legitimate website? What was the purpose? Did they notice? And how did you really compromise it? In my teenage ex-hacker enthusiast experience, I've only compromised one website, which was basically my town's official website, where I managed to obtain the accounting data for the website by socially engineering tripod.com. At the time, by basically going to a system administrator's ICQ profile and actually approaching tripod.com and attempt to gain access to the website for the purpose of changing the home page to spread a message and actually say hi and greet local friends. What type of music were you listening to at the time? What type of music do you like listening today? I spent most of my life listening to psychedelic trance, including Gore trance, and I'm actively listening to this type of music up to present day. The next logical question would be, who do you think is one of the most famous hackers in the world? What does it really constitute a famous hacker? What was your favorite hacker as a hacker enthusiast during the 90s? I used to find out a lot about Kevin Mitnick at the time. Unfortunately, I never posted a sticker on my website. Among my favorite hacking groups throughout the 90s was Confidence Remains High, in particular their electronic magazine, the electronic magazine. At a later stage, I was also impressed by the existence of a hacker group known as Fluffy Bunny, which basically managed to compromise every single high-profile security and hacking website at the time and actually left a message on one of these websites. The next logical question would be, you were among the first people to blow the whistle on high-profile cyber criminals from Eastern Europe and Russia, including the famous Russian business network. Do you think the RBN is alive again? Who's behind it? Are there any other high-profile and popular alternatives to the Russian business network these days? Who are they? Long story short, based on my research and based on the research that I've been doing throughout the past 10 years, the Russian business network is one of the most popular and highly referenced cybercrime enterprises across the globe. However, what users and cybercrime researchers and threat intelligence analysts should keep in mind while analyzing and profiling this type of malicious activity and websites is that this is just the tip of the iceberg when it comes to cybercrime activity globally, and they should really and seriously consider other cybercrime powerhouse across the globe and basically continue doing their work and actively profiling and analyzing their campaigns. The next logical question would be, do you play games today? Which are some of your favorite titles? Among my favorite titles currently include the Battlefield franchise, including Crysis, including the latest edition of Sid Meier's Civilization, including a personal favorite, which is Command, Modern Air and Naval Operations Warfare, which is basically one of the best military simulators available on the market today. What are your thoughts on copyright infringement? Do you pay for your stuff, including games, music, and equipment, including software? I personally pay for all the commercial software that I use, including my personal equipment and my personal music. When did you first started to use the Tor network? When did you come across the Tor network? How did you come across the Tor network? I believe it was around 2006 when I was busy researching several US government programs, including SPA-War. I then decided to start using the Tor network, including several other cloud communication tools for the purpose of preventing my local IT from intercepting what I was basically doing online. The next logical question would be, how do you remember the rise of Web 2.0 technologies? Which were your favorite websites and technologies at the time? I remember this period of time when I was actually tagging my posts with the idea to have technocratic grow and actually process and feature my posts. I also remember that I actually used to rely and actually use delicious, including possibly Dick, where I was secretly hoping to get some of my stories featured. The next logical question would be: you skipped your academic years, are working for the security industry. What can you tell a future college graduates in terms of joining the security industry, starting a career? My personal advice would be: if you truly want to make something big and important, join a local hacking and security community, or consider launching a big project that you can properly fund and eventually launch a company on your own. The next logical question would be: when did you start getting involved with open source intelligence? I think that it was around 2006 when I was busy maintaining the content at astrovista.com, and prior to launching my personal blog, thedanchev.blogspot.com. The next question would be: what are some of your earliest and current accomplishments in the world of open source intelligence? Among my most prominent accomplishments in the world of OpenSynth is the launch and management of my personal blog, thedanchev.blogspot.com, including the tracking and eventual takedown of the Kubeface botnet. How long did it take you? How long did it take you down to track down and shut down the Kubeface botnet? Basically, it took me a period of 2.5 years of active research and eventually in monitoring of the Kubeface botnet to eventually produce a high quality analysis, which eventually led to exposing one of the authors behind the botnet. Is it true that the next logical question would be: is it true that you are running one of the security responsible security publications? Since December 2005, my personal dancho.blogspot.com blog has received approximately 5.6 million page views and visitors internationally, making it one of the security responsible security publications. The next logical questions would be: what would be appropriate to say hi and I'm back to the security industry? It's by launching a high-profile product in one of the world's most popular websites for hacking and security experts, which is astrovista.blogspot.com.